Hey guys, my name is Dominic, and I am a paraplegic from a car accident just over 25 years ago. I am paralyzed from about my chest down and use a wheelchair every day. And I am here to talk to you guys about something that we aren't actually able to do a whole lot right now. And I know a lot of you are itching to get out. And hopefully what I can show you guys will give you a little bit more information to as to what is out there. And if you didn't think and didn't know that things were out there, this is new information for you, or just give you a little inspiration to pack up your gear and head out and go play in the sun, even though it is kind of hot right now. With the temperatures rising and stuff, we're all in our summer months right now, so but the biggest thing for everyone to know is that being a wheelchair user myself, there's a lot of adaptive equipment out there that allows people to experience the outdoors. And we're talking camping, hiking, fishing, mountain biking, kayaking, canoeing, all of those sort of things. And I've been active in the outdoors, ever since I was a kid, and just grew up that way. Anyway, I've learned over the years there's a lot of different adaptive equipment. First and foremost is your own mind. You want to uh, do the best you can to try to figure things out, try to adapt to situations. Figure those things out. There's always a way. And the technology then and the equipment supports that. And if there isn't something, a lot of times you can either make it yourself fairly simply, or enlist somebody else, a friend, a family member, even businesses to help you build things. I've been super fortunate that I've had a lot of people behind me and help me with the technology side of things. I had the mindset to try to go and do things, but I didn't necessarily have the knowledge or the expertise in building the equipment to the standard that I needed. So I had help with that. One of the first things that I had help with was actually I have an off-road wheelchair. And just so you guys can see it, it's over here. And it is made by Box Wheelchairs. They were out of like the Corona, California area. Now he's out in Texas. All US made, all beautifully built. I've used his wheelchairs for, geez, oh my God, I can't even remember. Very long time. But this wheelchair here is something that you can use to get you out on the trails, um, and it will. The basic change to this chair is that it has. You can see the big knobby wheels on it. Those are actually a 24-inch mountain bike tire from Kenda Tires. And then it has Fox full suspension mountain bike shocks on it for just, being able to get over things, and not be bouncing around. And then the front end has larger casters. You can see they're much wider. And then it also has a little bit of suspension in the front. I also have, you can see on the seat there is a strap. It is what's called a click strap, and it's a strap that you can put on and tighten yourself in, so that you stay secure in the chair. A lot of wheelchairs can be modified, regular everyday wheelchairs without the suspension and stuff like that. You can actually go to a bike shop and have wheels and tires made for that chair to be able to uh, take you into softer dirt, grass, gravel, snow, all sorts of stuff like that. Um, and then to go to the next step, if you're a mountain biker, now you can do something like this. So the off-road hand cycles, please please forgive me on all of the editing. And so that is what's considered a recumbent style hand cycle. It's propelled by your hands, obviously, hand cycle. And what I've done, that is from a company called Top End. And that is that's their model called a Force 3. And it's a fairly inexpensive bike. You're looking at probably your $2,500 to $3,000 range. And all I've done to make that one ready for the trails is I put on, again, the knobby mountain bike tires, and then I put saddlebags on the back, and a rack and everything, which I was able to get at a local bike shop. Super easy. Um, and then the next page you can go to is what's over here. Okay, now that is what's considered, it's from a company called Reactive Adaptations, and it is what is considered a prone style. Now, with the recumbent style, you are reclined back. You're sitting at a comfortable angle, and your feet are out in front of you. Whereas a prone style like this is where you're actually kneeling, and that pad right there is what you put your chest on, and you're kneeling over, and you crank with your hands. Um, this bike is much more for more rugged terrain. It has full suspension. It's much more capable in climbing and even downhill. Some people use it to race. There are races throughout the country that have an adapted division. So you are allowed to race in a division in a regular mountain bike race, downhill, gravel, all that sort of stuff. Um, and then you can so there the other thing too is like with the campsites, um, the ADA actually required, and the Department of Justice required that every campground have ADA accessible campsites for RVs, for tents, for all of that sort of stuff. Your best bet there is to call and make sure that they have a space available, because a lot of times, they're still working on a lot of it. They're still upgrading a lot of this, and so you want to call and make sure the space is available, what they have, what the amenities are like. Explain your disability, and your needs. And just work with the rangers. They're super super cool and always willing to work with you. I actually worked with Arizona State Parks and Trails for about a year, helping with their adaptive recreation and their campgrounds and their facilities all over the state. And they didn't even know how much was actually accessible to people with disabilities of all types, wheelchairs, walkers, visual impairments, hearing impairments, all of that sort of stuff. And they're doing a very, very good job of updating and renovating a lot of their buildings and facilities and stuff to make them more accessible, as well as programs. There are things like star nights where they go out into like Lost Dutchman State Park, and they bring out telescopes and stuff like that so that people can see the stars. They do nature walks, nighttime, daytime, all of that sort of stuff. The national park system is a very very good system. They have a lot in place right now, when it comes to trails and accessibility. We have Tonto National Forest is the closest one here. There's Coconino, there's Saguaro down in Tucson. There are a lot of different places to be able to go and experience the outdoors. Um, and there again, there are a lot of adapted equipment and things that people didn't ever think were something that would cater to the disabled population. I have a tent that was never meant for wheelchairs, but yet it is perfect for transferring in and out of. The tent actually mounts to a hitch, on your vehicle, and it folds down like you have it folded up when it's in travel. And then when you get to your campsite, you can fold it down. It's on legs. And the base platform where the bed is actually sits right level with your wheelchair. So you can actually transfer across and get in and for sleeping and stuff like that. It's from a company called Rubicon Expedition Products. It's called a hitch mount tent. If you get a chance, check them out. Again, Rubicon Expedition Products. These guys are really, really cool. A bunch of backcountry dirt bags, all mountain bikers, and I say that with the most kind, uh, inflection. Um, but again, there's so many things out there for people to use to experience the outdoors. There's adapted kayaks, and then also too, not just the equipment, but the programs. You have a great resource in the valley, although it's closed down right now. But Ability 360, the Sports and Fitness Center, they run programs throughout the year for kayaking, for golfing, for rock climbing, for all sorts of different things beyond just like the court sports that you would normally see. Um, so there's tons and tons of resources. Oh, and behind me here, this is the same bike that I showed you earlier. It's a top end Force 3, but this one is actually set up for more of your road use. So if you want to take any one of the paved trails around the valley, or around the state, really wherever, this one is set up to be a lot more, a lot faster, and a lot easier to propel. Um, Again, you're going to want to understand that getting out into nature will have its difficulties. You're going to want to be, as strong as you can be, and just be aware that the trails, you may be going along a trail and it may be good for a while, but you may have a stopping point. There may be, due to weather, due to like monsoon season, it may take out a trail, and wash out a trail where you can progress any further. So you may have to turn back. And the other thing too is to absolutely, I cannot stress enough, to bring water. Bring more than you will ever think you need to have. It's hot, you sweat, and the worst thing is to be out on the trail and run out of water. Um, Also, too, with nature is you got to be careful of the wildlife. Obviously we get to, the birds aren't so dangerous. They might dive bomb you here and there, but the other thing is, watching out for snakes, scorpions, the javelina. They'll make some noise, but they're really pretty harmless. Um, they're more scary in their sound and their size than anything. But very, very much beware of, snakes and other creatures like that do pose a danger. Most of them are just out sunning themselves. They're not going to aggressively attack you, but if you poke it with a stick, it's gonna come after you. Um, so just be good to nature and be aware of it. Um, and if there's anyone who needs any information, I can be reached through my website, which is www.extremeabilities.com, obviously, or Daring Adventures. You already are connected with them. Again, my name is Dominic, and I look forward to seeing you guys out on the trail.